Today on Forbes, Apple design guru Jony set to become a billionaire thanks to OpenAI deal. The man who designed the iPhone is about to join Forbes' billionaires list. Last Wednesday, OpenAI announced that it's acquiring legendary Apple designer Jony Ive's artificial intelligence hardware startup, IO, in an all-stock deal that values the company at $6.5 billion and will likely push Ive's net worth to 10 digits in the coming years. Forbes estimates that Ive owns 11% of IO and is set to receive shares of OpenAI worth $715 million, though the stock won't fully vest for several years, according to a source familiar with the matter. The deal is subject to regulatory approval. Before launching IO last year, Ive spent nearly 3 highly compensated decades at Apple designing its products. He also has a real estate empire worth an estimated $100 million net of debt, and a design firm called Lovefrom that does around $200 million of annualized revenue. Ive, who Steve Jobs once said had, quote, more operational power than anyone else at Apple except me, may already be a billionaire, though it's hard to know for sure. That's because his 27 years of Apple Pay packages were never publicly disclosed. His shareholdings did briefly appear in SEC filings covering a 4-year period from 2008 to 2011, during which time he cashed in stock he received as compensation for an estimated $75 million after taxes. I've declined to comment for this story. Details of what exactly they're building are sparse, but the IO acquisition seems to be a key part of OpenAI's strategy to build new AI-powered hardware devices, according to a video I've appeared in with OpenAI co-founder and billionaire CEO Sam Altman, released last Wednesday, the day the agreement was announced. In the video, the 58-year-old Ive said, quote, I have a growing sense that everything I've learned over the last 30 years has led me to this moment. Ive's year-old startup, which he co-founded with former Apple colleagues Scott Cannon, Evans Hankey, and Tong Tan, grew out of a partnership with Ive's design firm Lovefrom that began in 2023, around the time Lovefrom started quietly working with OpenAI. In the video, Altman said, quote, it became very quickly apparent to both of us that we needed a third company. Initially, IO operated in stealth, growing to 55 employees of its own, in addition to Lovefrom's 60. It also raised 2 rounds of funding, totaling an estimated $225 million from several firms, including Sutter Hill Ventures, the Emerson Collective, Thrive Capital, and OpenAI, which already owned a reported 23% stake in IO before last week's announcement. The $5 billion OpenAI is paying IO's shareholders for the remaining 77% will likely come in the form of OpenAI profit-sharing units, which typically vest over 4 years, meaning it'll be a while before Ive's stock is released to him. In the video announcement, Altman said IO's mission is to, quote, create a family of devices that would let people use AI to create all sorts of wonderful things. Seemingly, that means the 2 Silicon Valley legends are working on a consumer-facing, AI-powered hardware product, which is a tough market to crack. Meta and Google have tried, but their glasses have yet to achieve widespread adoption. Same story with startups Humane and Rabbit, whose Humane Pin and Rabbit R1 devices I've recently derided in an interview with Bloomberg as, quote, poor products. But Sutter Hill Ventures managing director Mike Speiser, who invested in both of IO's funding rounds, thinks that if anyone's up to the task, it's the IO team. Speiser told Forbes, quote, after working with them, I'd never want to compete with this team building consumer products, ever. The founders are among the greatest builders of consumer products in history. For full coverage, check out Phoebe Liu and Matt Duro's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.